Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Ready Player One. I'm gonna start off with the disclaimer. I've never read the book for Ready Player One, which shouldn't be a shock if you watch my channel regularly. I don't read a whole lot. I know, sorry, horrible person, but it's just the fact of the matter. But especially leading up to the release of this film, I knew it was chock full of different references, very video game heavy, and then seeing the trailers, I saw the pop culture references coming in. So second disclaimer here, I'm not really a big video game person, and when I do play video games, they're mostly sports video games. So I'm not really the book target audience, and I'm not really the gamer target audience, but I am a pop culture fiend. So at least they hit me on that one. Plus, as cliche as it may sound, Steven Spielberg is still my favorite director. I know that he's a little bit up and down over the past decade or so, but I still think weak Spielberg films are quality films. So I was looking forward to this. I liked the BFG. It wasn't great, but I still thought it was a nice solid family film. And Ready Player One looked like it could be fun, or it did have an air of CGI covered garbage. Thankfully, it's definitely a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed myself with this film. So let's go ahead and talk about those positives. So I already disclaimed that I'm not a big gamer myself, but it definitely felt like I was transported inside of a video game. You are completely thrown into this world. We are a part of the oasis. It feels kind of like we are avatars going through this crazy gaming system. And it is a lot of fun. Pretty much from start to finish. We're in the action, we're thrown in, the world building begins. And the world building itself is awesome. I loved the different planets, the different locations we got to explore. Honestly, I wish we had just had more time for world building within the Oasis. I wanted to, hop on my own little adventure with my own little avatar and just run around and see what was around there. So that's a huge testament to just the world building of the film, period, as well as the visual effects department. I will say all of the effects look like a video game, but thankfully that's kind of the point. That's the mission of the special effects here. So it all works. So they don't look hyper realistic. It's not like super textured. It looks like avatars within a video game, and I thought it all looked really cool. It added to that effect of bringing a video game world to life. Plus, it is very fun seeing all of these pop culture references thrown into the same film. Being the horror junkie I am, having a level dedicated to The Shining was awesome. Seeing Chucky jumping into a battle, amazing. Plus, it just made me want to revisit and rewatch The Iron Giant because I already loved that film. And it made me sad and just long for that movie all over again. And it is jam-packed with references, many of which I'm sure I didn't even really understand because they are video game references. The big ones I got, the halos within the film, I understood. But I think gamers are going to get that extra notch because they're going to just understand the entire battlefield of characters. But I think I need a second viewing because I want to catch more Easter eggs. I know they were in there. There were some small ones. There's so much happening when you're inside the Oasis that I think you do need at least 2 viewings to start to pick up on all of the different nuggets dropped in here. And it's just a lot of fun. Spielberg himself is a big positive for me. I think his direction is what helps bring this entire film to life. It is his way of storytelling that injects any heart into this film. Not only does he bring wonder to the big screen, not only is he like a visual effects master at this point and big blockbuster spectacle film genius, but he knows how to inject heart into these family-friendly films. And he does so here very well. I loved the messaging about finding your place. I think he really captured what media is to so many of us, whether it be movies for me, sports, whether it be video games, such as in the film, just what that escape is and what it represents and what it actually means to people. And this movie really captured it in a beautiful way, I thought, and it was so respectful and beautifully done, and I just loved that. As for our cast, I think everybody was solid. A lot of it is voice work because, hey, they're their avatars for a good portion of this film. Ty Sheridan is very good in his role. He's a very standard young adult protagonist type, and he works well here. Olivia Cooke is back again in a very different role from what I just saw her in for Thoroughbreds. She's also very good. And Mark Rylance kind of steals the show. He is great in this movie. I thought his character was going to be just ridiculous, but it was something a little bit different, really kooky, and you could also tell Mark Rylance was enjoying himself with this weird little role. As was Ben Mendelsohn, who just killed it. I loved him as the villain. I thought he was just the right amount of over-the-top, like, ridiculous villain, while still feeling like a menacing threat. So I thought the cast all worked pretty well. So once we move on to our negatives of the film, I do have to say it felt a bit long. And a big part of that for me personally was I wasn't nearly as invested in the real life story. When we left the Oasis, it was always a little bit of a bummer. I was like, oh, can we just stay in the Oasis? I was having fun with that adventure, actually. So all of the real world stuff, it never feels fully fleshed out. It never feels fully developed. And you can tell that Spielberg was having a lot more fun with the Oasis himself. And I think it did make the real world aspect and the actual story behind it all suffer a little bit. It dragged just a tad. There are also these little nuggets of super over-the-top, like, cheese comedy that did not work for me. And included in that are, like, the sound effects and the fight choreography. I mean, the fist was this far away from the face, and you could very clearly tell. And it was like a literal kind of sound effect on it. There's one at the end of this film that is played for nothing but laughs, and it is horrible. But there are a lot of really, really cheesy moments like that throughout the film that I could have definitely done without. And I know it's adapted from a book, but yet again, they strike with this young adult romance, and actually, the romance aspect itself here worked okay. Like, it being in the film was fine. It was the expediency at which we were shoved this romance. Like, it was just shoved upon us. It happened so fast that it was kind of like, oh, okay, well, alright then. I mean, I guess young love, your little young heart doesn't know how to take a chill pill. But it just happened too quickly for me, personally. But it does play an important part of the humanity behind the story. But then we get to Mark Rylance's character and that weird romance subplot as part of the clues that I don't think was, like, fleshed out or really explained much at all. It was like, okay, I don't get it. I don't understand. What? This seems ridiculous, and it seems like we're really throwing that love word around a little bit loosely. But overall, Ready Player One is a very fun film. I think it is going to be a blast for teenagers, for preteens, as for adults, because you're actually going to get all the 80s references and all the pop culture nuggets, and you're going to love the soundtrack. It transports you. It feels magical. It really is just a good, fun time at the movies. And I say give Ready Player One a full price ticket. The visuals are so fun, and I think you need to be in that theater to get the full immersion of the experience. And I think quality-wise, it should be seen in a movie theater. So give it that full price ticket. So, that is my review of Ready Player One. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Ready Player One? And have you read the book? If you did, I know a lot of people don't love this, and I know some who do. What were your thoughts on the book? And are you excited to see how they adapt it to film? let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!